What is going on YouTube? Hey, Mike making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. So in yesterday's video, I discussed what exactly is going on within, XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin. As you can clearly see, I showed you guys this massive spiral to the upside, which actually shot the price of Bitcoin up about $300 to $400, depending on which exchange you were looking at. Now, what's interesting is I discussed in that video that there is quite the possibility of expecting correction for a few key reasons. As I was reading in some of the comments of my prior videos, you guys are sick and tired of the way cryptocurrency is trading right now, and I know I understand it and I feel it too. Bitcoin has literally been trading between $9,000 and like $9,400 the past couple of weeks, if not going on a month or two, and it's putting a damper on our technical analysis and trading, because obviously we all enjoy big movements and big swings on something that unfortunately isn't doing much of anything right now. But what I wanted to specifically discuss in today's video was the reasoning behind why we're starting to crack lower, the reasoning why we're starting to drop, why this was a called prediction, why this was a called short, and so on and so forth. But otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This does help out the YouTube algorithm, as well as make sure to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns relating to cryptocurrency, the market, S&P 500, anything of the sort, you can DM me over there. It's easier than the comments, but I do read those as well. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So, just moving forward, as you guys can clearly see, current coin market cap, it looks like we hit the top. This was mentioned in yesterday's video as well, that there was a very high chance we were hitting the resistances, and it was a great opportunity to put in shorts. Whether or not you guys did is up to you, but it was a great time to short the market. I know I did, and I made a little bit of money, but ultimately it was a great opportunity to short. Now, I did update my Patreon. For those of you that don't know, Patreon is a way for you guys to basically, capitalize off of the market, market sentiment and things like that. It's a place where I post most of my trades and most of my movements, as well as explain exactly how DueDEX and the cryptocurrency market works, how to put in my longs, my shorts, set post onlys, as well as stop losses, leverage trades, and things like that. So if you guys were interested specifically in learning how to do any of that, definitely make sure to check on my Patreon. I know the market is getting stagnant, but this is a great time to kind of touch up how you guys are doing with the market and touch up your ways of trading. And then when it comes time to, buy in long or sell short, you guys will be very prepared, especially in the downtime. Obviously, consider this the off season, preparing ourselves for the actual season to go on and actually make some money and invest and learn on the way. But otherwise, you can see most of the cryptos have been down. They've been bearish. They've been, correcting lower and lower and lower. Ultimately, this is going to lead to what I think is a top resistance being in play. We're going to start to head lower. XRP was the one interesting coin that I do want to discuss. XRP actually managed to break up even higher than what I was anticipating. I thought that this moving average, it would hit and then we'd, break bearish. I was actually shocked that we even broke through it to begin with. But today is Friday and we do have 2 more days left in the coin, and it is very interesting. You can see here 2 days and 13 hours. Here's my prediction, which I've been predicting for days now on this candle. Is let's see exactly how we close. Are we going to close like this, where we end up below the downtrend, or are we going to close with a bar above it? So as you can see, we were very high up, very easy for us to close above, but as those days trickled forward, we started to recede lower and lower and lower, causing a big wick flare to happen, and there's a good chance we could close back down below the resistance as well. We have a little less than 3 days left. There's a very big possibility that that could happen. And with that, I'm paying very close attention. You can see before, and the reason why we decided to dip lower is because we hit, the overbought on the RSI, and we actually kind of broke above the moving average, which is a little bit of FOMO, and I do believe we're going to start to correct down lower from that. But ultimately, what I want to show you guys is Bitcoin. You can see clearly on the DueDEX chart, and boy, do I love DueDEX, but you can see the reason for the recession or the receding that happened in there. And I'm pretty pissed that we've now gone on weeks and weeks of sideways trading. Clearly a date range right here. We can go all the way from here to right now. This is 63 days. We've literally gone on 2 months of the market just trading sideways, literally trading between, I would say, 9,000 and about 90 $97 or $9,600, but we haven't seen those prices in a long time. So the market is very flatlined, but we are at a top resistance. We are hanging up top here. You know, this is not good. I mean, I've traded crypto for a very long time, and when I see something like this, it is a red flag to me. I'm very shocked, and I don't believe we'll be breaking outside of here or to the upside anytime soon, but I do strongly believe we'll be breaking down. And as you can clearly see the resistance that it's forming when we hit this top bar here, there's a fairly high chance we are going to break lower. So with that being said, I am preparing myself for this to immediately correct back down to the downside. As I extend this out, hopefully this helps you better understand the downwards funnel that is forming on Bitcoin's chart on DueDEX. There's a good chance that after we get rejected so many times from here, that this next couple of times it's not going to hold. It's going to be much weaker, and it will ultimately form a relapse in the price of Bitcoin, and we should start to recede downwards closer to our bottom support, ultimately giving us the biggest opportunity to short the market. It depends on how rapid we do decide to drop, but I'm thinking it's going to be a fairly steep drop in price, and I think it's going to be fairly difficult to catch, and that's why I think posting a post only close to about $8,500 would be one of the better things to do in relevance to us breaking bearish and capitalizing off of, you know, big drops in price like this. These are what I'm referring to. These big movements could be very easy to capitalize off of. You can see right here what it is that I'm referring to. So some sort of drop very similar to the past that it's had here. This is what I'm anticipating for the price of the coin, and I know it's been fairly stagnant in market price and market movement, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not coming. And you know, when we're doing long-term technical analysis, that is something we do have to prepare ourselves for. But you can clearly see on the Bitcoin chart on the Coinbase trading view, you can see that there's a clear resistance here, and we are breaking bearish from that. We hit it, we rejected it. I told you yesterday that it was a great short opportunity. I would honestly take profits now just to be conservative. Expect to see some sort of retestment of the uptrend, retestment of this moving average, and we'll see if we break through it. We'll see if the uptrend holds. We'll see if the moving average holds, but I do believe we're headed down. Trading at 50 on the RSI doesn't look too good, and I do believe this correction is going to happen very soon, very quickly, and you have to be prepared if you want to capitalize off this. So get ready. You can clearly see on the weekday what it is that I'm referring to. You can clearly see the rejection from here, that we're at point A to B to C to D. Now we're moving slowly down to E. It is working. We are slowly heading lower and lower and lower as we get rejected over and over and over again by this top resistance. There's a very high chance we're going to break this bullish flag or whatever it is and fall easily down to the moving average. I really anticipate 77 to 7,800 being the next movement for the price of Bitcoin. I do believe that we are going to break here. We could short it anywhere below, I would say $8,500 to be safe, and I do believe we're going to fall down to 77. So there is a big profit window there if you do set up a post only. But otherwise, that's pretty much going to wrap up the video. I do want to look at Litecoin and the stock market really quickly, if you give me a second. So Litecoin, once again, is also showing signs of weakness and bearish movements. You can see trading at 52 on the relative strength indicators, rejected from its moving average inside of a massive, symmetrical triangle as well, something that we've also known. You can clearly see that this is also just slowly consolidating. The volume spurts that we had in the beginning were astronomical, and then it slowly consolidated down, hit our bottom support, shot up, and the volume has slowly died off to the point now where we're literally just flatlined inside of this moving average, and inside of this symmetrical triangle, and we're slowly trying to fill the gap. And there really isn't much gap left to fill, so there is going to be a nice pop in price, I think, very soon. It's just a matter of where and when it's going to happen. Lastly, to wrap up today's video, the S&P 500, which is just trucking along, guys. I think this is great, and I'm really expecting to see even higher movements very soon. Easily up to some new all-time highs very quickly. Ultimately, the big thing I'm paying close attention to is whether or not this is going to go one of two ways. Are we going to hit the moving average and break through it like we've done in the past, or are we going to use it as a resistance and use it to fall lower as we get rejected from the moving average right here, the MACD. This is what I meant to say. We get rejected from the MACD and sway lower. So to draw it out for you guys, to make it a little easier, let's say this is the continuation. This blue band would hit it and then fall lower, just like that. That would be the rejection we're looking for, which would signal a bearish move to the downside. Ultimately, I do think it would just cross over, and it would lead us up to top resistances close to about 34, if not close to, yeah, $3,400, which is incredible. But once we hit top resistance, I am definitely going to figure out if I can sell what I have in my investment portfolio in my Roth IRA and then try to buy it down on a dip, because I know you're allowed to sell. I just don't know if you're allowed. You can't just, I think the rule is you're allowed to sell what's in your Roth IRA, but you can't pull it out of your Roth IRA. So if you play around with it inside of the Roth, you're fine. So it's definitely something I got to consider. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, make sure to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.